So a while ago, I talked about never wanting a job, and I was looking at the comments, and I saw this comment right here that I wanted to talk about a little bit further. And it's, if you don't choose a direction in life, life will choose one for you. And you might not like where it takes you. And reading this comment brings back a lot of feelings, and I want to talk about that today. So I've talked about this before, and for a lot of my late teens and the entirety of my 20s, I kind of just floated through life. I just went with whatever life took me. Life decided for me. But it's only really something that I realised in retrospect once I hit my 30s. And I think turning 30 kind of illuminates a lot of these things to you. But thinking back to those times during my early 20s in particular, because that's when I had to enter the world of work, that was something I tried to put off for as long as I can, because the whole time I was young, people would ask me, what do you want to do when you get older? I had no answer. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to get a job. It seemed like a terrible idea. Why would I want to just go to work every day just to earn a bit of money? I did not care. And for a long time, when I actually was doing work, it would be I'd only work as long as I needed to, and then I would stop. And I just would fall into whatever came my way. And I think that is just kind of part of life, but I never prioritized doing something that I wanted to do. I never thought to myself, what do I want to do? And I never thought I'm going to put that first. Instead, I just did whatever fell my way. When I started working at a care home, I worked at quite a few care homes, and I only ended up working there because my mum was a manager at a care home. So it was like an entryway into that job. And that's okay. And, you know, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like life is just a part of just falling into the opportunities that are available to you. But I hated working in the care home. I did not like it. And it wasn't until after a year or so of working there, I decided I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like being in this world of work. And that's when I decided to go to university, because I thought in my head, if I go back into education, then I don't have to work. I can put it off for a little bit. And I think in retrospect, that was another decision for me to just continue floating through life because I felt comfortable. And I think when I come back to why did I float through life, I think it was a little bit of I was comfortable in my own misery. So the comfort is here in this fist. But it does feel like that. It does clench you in a place. It keeps you stuck. And I was stuck for a long time because I didn't want to face the uncertainty over here of following the thing that I wanted to do. And I'll be honest with you, for a lot of my life, I've just wanted to make videos like this. And part of my rationale for going to university was I want to get better at recording sound so I can make better YouTube videos. Because at the time I was watching creators like Total Biscuit, who put a lot of effort and time into making their sound sound really good. And I wanted to follow in his footsteps, really. He was a big sort of role model, you could say, on what I wanted to do. I thought I looked up to his work. I thought, wow, his sound quality is really good. He presents himself so well. I want to learn how to do that. So honestly, the first thing was, I wanted to escape the workplace. But then at the same time, I thought I could use this to enhance my skills. And really, I could have just been making videos from the start. I already was making random videos. I've been on this platform. I think one of my oldest videos is 18 years old. I've had a number of YouTube accounts and I've just never been consistent with it. And that's when you get this pain over here, this uncertainty. What if I waste all my time doing this thing and it doesn't work? So I didn't do it. Whereas over here, it's the pain of I'm just going to be doing whatever life gives me. I'm just going to fall into whatever that is. And I think that it's a choice between two pains. And when I got into my 30s, I can see that clearly now. There was the pain of not working very hard towards anything and then reaching, the age of 30 and realizing I haven't really gone anywhere in life. and then time is running out. I need to work on something soon. And then there could have been that pain of, I work towards something, it's uncertain, but I'm working towards it. Now, I chose this one for most of my life, and in my 30s I feel that pain now. Almost a sense of urgency. I need to figure this out before my time's over. And I think that because I didn't follow my passions in a sense, it did give me that sense of purposelessness. It felt like I was going nowhere, and it felt like everything was pointless to work towards. And I empathise a lot. I work with young adults today, and I see that same attitude in them, where nothing seems worthwhile. Why bother trying? And at the time, when I was younger, I had this worldview. You know, the soil's going to stop producing food. The environment's fucked. What am I to think about the future? What's the point in thinking about the future? And then not just that, but then in my early 20s, I was diagnosed with an inflammatory bowel disease. And at the time, I thought I had bowel cancer. So I really thought that my life was kind of just over. So that encouraged me to drift through life. But now I think that having a time limit, having something saying, you haven't got that long, mate, it makes that time feel more valuable. And it makes me reflect on the things I could have done. But honestly, when you look back, I think that the best thing to do is not to dwell on the past, your past decisions. I mean, it's good to reflect on those just to see, you know, how have I got to where I am today? Why am I in this position? But it's time to take ownership and actually start taking actions. And I've never felt more purposeful than when I've decided to take action towards those things that I want to do and actually carve out time to focus on those things. I mean, just yesterday, I spent hours editing a video. I woke up, I edited a video all up until I went to work, came back from work, edited that video until I went to sleep. And I actually felt really pleased with myself because I had dedicated myself to working towards what I want to do. It made me feel much better, honestly. There's like this deep burning feeling inside of me like I should be doing this, I should be doing this. And then when I was younger, I felt this guilt as well because I remember my dad would be like, you know, you got to earn some money, you got to get a job. And then I'd be there feeling guilty while I'm playing a video game, thinking I really ought to be earning some money. And for a time, I was doing self-employed videography locally for local businesses. And I was doing that with my friend. And it got to the point when we were earning a little bit of money, really not much. I'll tell you how much in a second, but we would just earn rent each month, like just. And I'd always be surprised. How did we do it again this month? And then that would be it. And we'd both just get on World of Warcraft and keep playing. We wouldn't build any sort of buffer or anything. We were earning £300 a month. Rent wasn't very expensive. And it only just scraped by. It made me feel like, I don't know, just lost, to be honest, because I was not working towards anything. I was working just enough to get by. But work felt painful. And when I worked in that care home, it was exactly the same. They would give me a text. It was all done over text, like, do you want to come in today? Because I chose to be on bank staff. So what bank staff is, you get to choose your hours. If I say no to a shift, that's okay. It's part of the contract. And I was really pleased with this setup because I would get texts, and they constantly want people when you work in a care home because it's a high turnover job. People come and go all the time. People don't want to work there. It's not a very nice place to work, if we're honest. It's a job that's it can be very taxing on your mind, you know, to help look after these people. It's a good thing to do. It's just quite taxing, and I didn't want to be there any longer than I needed. So I remember I'd work there until I earned about £500 to £600 a month, and then I'd say no. I'd turn down every shift, and even if they texted me like, we're desperately understaffed, we need you tomorrow, I'd just be selfish and prioritise myself. I'd say, I'm not interested. No. And I loved that aspect of being on bank staff because I could choose what I felt was healthy for me. I don't know if it was very helpful in the long run, probably not, but at the time I was very appreciative of it. And I do remember there was this protest against bank staffs. There was a shop called Sports Direct, and there was a big protest in town, and everyone was like, no more bank staff, we want full contracted hours. And I remember walking past this and I remember thinking, bank staff is great, why are we protesting against this? But obviously I came at it with my perspective. These people needed those hours, and really I should have been thankful for the time that I had. I didn't realise how easy I had it. So if you are in that sort of position, you are very, very lucky. I was lucky that I wasn't desperately needing more money. And I think that if you are in your 20s still, you've got a golden opportunity to try and to build something and to take risks. Whereas I took this path, the path that felt quite, it locked me in. I was going to say it fisted me. In the long run, this path will fist you. But the path that will make you feel satisfied in life, I think, is this path, the risk path. The path you don't know if it will work, but you're going to try. And that's the message I want to leave you with, is to actually just try. No matter what it is that you want, where that path may go, you might as well try, because there's no reason not to. You're going to be in pain regardless of which path you choose. Do you want to be in pain because you didn't try? Or do you want to feel the pain of trying? That's about it. Thanks for listening.